Hello everyone, this side Asa Goswami, and today I'm gonna give you a review about the syllabus of my MJ5, which is Introductions to Statistic, Central Tendency and Dispersion. So, this is a part of statistic where the statistic is done. So, if you have studied economics in your plus 2, so most of the starting topics are from class 11th or 12th. It's depend on your statistic part. In some schools they provide statistic in 12th and in some 11th. So here we will start with the basic concept: population, samples, parameter, frequency distribution, cumulative frequencies. So these are the first part, which is a complete theory based topics. Then at second we will start with techniques of data collection, sampling versus populations, primary and secondary data, graphics and diagrammatic representations of data. This is also a graphical representation, but it is depends on the graph, and you need to explain about the graph. This is only in the, as you have seen in the economics, there is a graph and you will describe it. So this is similar to that, nothing calculative and other things. So it is, you can say that this is a theory based. Then we will study in the 1.3 measures of central tendency. Here's the important topic start, and this topics contain a huge weightage, especially in the exams. So we need to study this topic very carefully. Measures of central tendency: mean, median, mode, graphic, geometric means, and harmonic means. So here we will start the measures of central tendency. In the mean, there is three types of mean: arithmetic mean, geometric mean and harmonic mean. So even we can use arithmetic mean as a we can write it as simple mean, but it is a arithmetic mean, geometric mean and harmonic mean. Then we will study median and mode. So this all the things are the part of the central tendency. It is like a value which is centered to all the observations. So it is like middle calculations. So we can, in the layman language, we can understand that a central value of all the observation is called a central tendency, but we will further study in more technical words. Then in the 1.4 there is a measure of dispersion: range, mean deviations, standard deviations, coefficient of variance, quartile deviations, skewness and kurtosis. So as we can see in the dispersion is there. So this is a topic which is very important and helpful for further studies, like for understanding the correlation and regression unit. You have to understand each and every topic, and this is a mathematical based topic and it is very important also. So please try to understand those topics very seriously. Measure of dispersion: range, mean deviations, standard deviation, coefficient of variance, quartile deviation, skewness and kurtosis. So range is a very simple topic. Then mean deviation, if you have studied the mean and mean deviation, is also very simple, theory based, just normal calculations involved. Standard deviation is pretty tough, not that tough, but you have to understand and you have to calculate it and practice as much as you can. And then coefficient of variance, this is nothing as the just double the standard. I mean, whatever the standard deviations formula, just square it and you get the formula of variance. So it is not a separate topic, it is related to this only. Then we have quartile deviations. Quartile deviations is something we will study in the mean also, and it is similar to mean, but mean is just about the central value, mean half of the value. But quartile deviations give the exposure of not only the quartile deviation, there is quantile deviation, percentiles, septiles, octiles, there are so many, where you will see that how many parts of divisions in the deviations are there. Then screwness and kurtosis. Screwness is what? Screwness is screwness in the other word we can say that tilted, like the graph is how much tilted. And the kurtosis, there are three types of movement, and which is depend on the graph, like graph is this, graph is this, and graph is this. The higher graph is leptocratic, middle is mesocratic, and third is penticratic. So this is like related to plateau. So we will study further in the detail. I can show you as well, so just have a wait. See, this is the three central movement. So this is the first leptocratic, then penticratic, and this is the last one, which is included the all three curves, mesocratic normal distributions. So leptocratic curve, mesocratic curve, and penticratic curve. So as you can see, okay, so the highest is the leptocratic, middle is mesocratic, and penticratic. So this is just a visual graphications. When you will study, then you will be able to understand the graphs. Then the second one is correlation regression. So correlation is what? Coefficient of correlations, Karl Pearson's rank correlations, partial and multiple correlation analysis. So we will study the further second unit later. I first explain the first unit, which is very important, and if someone is study in class 11 like very seriously, so most of the topic is already covered in the statistic of the class 11th book. And especially VK Ahori is one of the great book for the statistic in the class 11. So if you willing to understand some basic concept, so you can go for it. And if you are in 11, so don't totally rely in the NCERT, just prefer some side book. TR Jain VK Ahori is one of the great book, and you can explore some other books also. So I will start with the theory of statistics. So the word statistic has been derived from the Latin word status, the Italian word stata, and the German word statistic, all of which were used to mean political state arithmetic. So first we will study the word statistic. Statistic is derived from the Latin word status. Status is and from the Italian word statista, and from the German word, which is the original word statistic, all of which were used to mean in the political state of arithmetic. So in the earlier times, political, for the calculating the political lekha jokha, you can say, in the darbar there are lekha jokhas are there. So all the calculation we see the calculations of the Muniji. So all the calculation is how all the calculation is done, like to calculate the data of how people are have money, or they pay taxes. In the earlier times, the taxes are like giving in a barter system, where 2 or 3 kgs are given to the king, and rest of the yield is taken by the farmer. So how all the calculation is able to calculate and record it? It is through the statistic. Okay, so in the Latin word it is stata, in the Italian word it is stata, statistic is in the German word. Okay, so in the initial day, government used to collect informations regarding population's wealth of the country. Egypt was the first country to conduct wealth and population census in 3050 BC. India's described method of collecting data are found in manuscript and Arthashastra written about 300 BC. So, in the initial day, government used to collect regarding the population's wealth of the country. So, as I have already taken the example of monarchy, where how the country is how the state is governed and how all the calculations is taking place. So this is all about the collecting the data, and which is only possible through statistic. So the wealth of the country, the Egypt was the first, and Egypt was the first country to conduct the wealth population census in 3050 BC in India. So as we can study about the India, when the statistic is introduced. So in the India also the kings used to take the methods of the statistic. This is a different thing that they don't know about the statistic exactly, but they also calculate it. And even in the India, the calculation is a very major area. Then India describes method of collecting data are found in the manuscript. Manuscript is a form of book, and in the manuscript, manusmriti, manusmriti is type of a book which is written in the like it is closely written in the near Arthashastra. So it is a book where how the government should work, what is the role of the king, and how they should govern, and that rules are have been written, which is a old text. And Arthashastra, as I also mentioned the Arthashastra is written by the Kautilya. So Kautilya, and even you have seen in the serials, Kautilya's other name is Chanakya. So Chanakya Niti, which is famous for political and economics theory, where how the which is totally based on diplomacy. Even in the external affairs, if you see that, you can easily understand the external relations. So yeah, apart from that, let's move to the main topic. Then it is written in the 300 BC. Then systematic collection of official statistic originated in 18th century in German. The German statistician Gottfried Ankenwolf first used the word statistic in 1749, and he called the father of statistics. So Gottfried Ankenwolf, he is the father of statistics. You must know this name. This is a very important name, and especially in one-liner questions. So systematic collection of official statistics originated in the 18th century in Germany. The German statistician Gottfried Ankenwolf first used the word statistic in 1749, and he is called the father of statistics. So this is concept of statistics is basically even for the centuries ago, but the Germany, like for the name tag of the Britishers, they says that for the German statistician Gottfried Ankenwolf first introduced the word statistic. So technically it comes into the flow at 18th century. Okay, then John Grant. So statistic is there, but for the utilization purpose, John Grant of the England, he's from England, collected from the birth and death statistic uh, scientifically in 18th century, and is called the father of vital statistics. So why this is vital written? So birth and death, which is a very vital, very important thing, so that is why. And he used this concept of statistic for the vital things like birth rate or death rate, and that is the reasons why he is called the father of vital statistic. Then we have the second is Sir Roland Fisher applied a statistic to diversified the field such as education, agriculture, genetics, biometrics, and is called the father of modern statistics. Sir Roland Fisher. Okay, so he applied the statistic in education, agriculture, genetics, biometrics. So all other reasons he is also doing. Like biometrics, you have to sign that how many students have attended the classes or attended the exams or other things. So biometric is there for a purpose, education's purpose, agriculture purpose, genetics. So he is called the father of modern statistician. Then we have important statisticians who contributed to the development of statistics include Pascal James Barolli, Lapis Lagrange, Carl Pearson, Francis Galton, Alfred Marshall, Edgeworth, etc. So these are some famous statisticians who have contributed to the development of the statistic. So these are the famous entities, and even further we will study about them. And I am gonna say one name, Carl Pearson. He is the statistician whose theory of statistics, he is basically a he's from biosphere, but he have given many concept of the statistics. So this is a very important statistician, and you will further study about them. Like there are so many theory given by them only. So yeah, important Indian statistician include P.C. Maharboli is father of Indian statistics, and he is from Calcutta, by the way. So V.K. R.V. Rao, R.C. Desai, P.V. Sukhmati, etc. So these are the persons. If you have studied in the Indian economics, then also you have to go through with these names, especially in the first chapter where they are contributing to the India's birth rate, death rate, and first calculating. So these are the famous entities. Now we will start defining the statistics. So for the defining the statistics, there is two sense. First is singular sense, and the second is plural sense. So statistic in the singular sense. So in the singular sense, statistic is the study of statistical method of analyzing. In this analysis, we discuss the stage through which any statistical study is conducted. Thus, statistic in the singular sense refers to the adoption of the following stage. So the singular sense, the statistic is the study of statistical method of analyzing. In this analysis, we discuss the stage through which any statistical study is conducted. To start a statistic, to understand it in a like in a not in a detailed manner, in an approximate average manner. So thus the statistic in the singular sense refers to the adoption of the following stages. So there are some four stages to how to calculate the statistic. So statistical, it is like a analysis where different stages are involved. The first stage is collection of data, and this is also called data mining. So It is the first step to any statistical investigation. Data should be collected for a specific and well defined purpose. So, if you are collecting a data and you have no purpose, then that data is of no use. The data should be collected for the pre-motive purpose. Let's suppose you are collecting a data of 100 students of their marks in the examination, but why you are collecting to collect the data for comparing all the sections of the student, and where the average of the each sections you got, so the highest average of any section will be the one winner. So you are giving a competition vibe where you are collecting to get to know about which section have performed, which sections all the children have performed good in the examination by taking their average. So you have the pre-motive. Then the second word is organization of data. Collected data should be organized with the help of proper editing and classification. So once you have collected the data, you should be organized your data. So even you enter the room, okay, whole mess is there. The pillows is through here, and the lamp is through outside. So is this a room? This is a whole mess, and you feel very messed up in your mind, and your mind is so mugged up that you won't able to do anything. So what you do first, you organize your things. Similarly, if you have a random data, so how you will get to know that these datas are of which sources, are of what type of data, what kind of data. So first you have to organize the data, like to make to organize the data, like you can organize the data as like this is the factual details of this section, this is a factual detail, a factual detail of this section. So basically the table, not that tabular form, like a basic table should be there where you have organizes this is the average of this section, this is the average of this section, this is the average of this section. Now you have the data but in the organized format. It will be helpful for the further analysis. Okay, now we have a presentation of data. So organized data should be in the form of text, table, diagram to make the data more understandable. So there are many form of presentation of data, like for the textual form, for the tabular form, diagram to make the data more understandable. So to compare the data, so what we do, we just compare the data from graphical representation. There are pie chart, there are histograms, bar diagram, then histogram. So there are many form of bar diagrams and graphical representation. So okay, so we will study the further in the detail. So this is just give you the a small review of the topic. So this is all about the statistic in a singular form. Then analysis of data. So the data should be properly analyzed on the basis of specific numericals and analytical tools. And interpretation of data. So it is the last stage of any statistical study, and with the help of empirical analysis conduct meaningful are derived. Analysis of data is what you get the graphical representation. Let's suppose section A topped from the other sections. So their bar diagram is on the high and others is in the low, and at one section, let's suppose a G section, where the data is very low. Okay, so now what you are doing, you are comparing with each other. There is one section which is doing very well, there is one section which is comparatively to other the product is low, and comparing to others. So you are analyzing and comparing the data. Okay, then and with the help of analytical tools, there are many analytical tools like mean, median, mode. There you can take a average and many other things we will study further. And then the last one is interpretation of data. So it is the last stage of any statistical study. With the help of empirical analysis conducted a meaningful and derived. So it is the last stage of any statistical study. Okay, so at last what you do, interpretate the data. Like we compare this group did this group did this. Then what is your pre-motive? Your pre-motive is which group did the highest as compared to other. So you get the answer that section A have done the highest, which group have done the lowest, section G have done the lowest. So what you conclude that section A have done the best and section C is the section G is the last. So you interpretate the data like by fulfilling and answering your pre-motive and conclude all the data as you have interpreted or analysis at further. So then we have statistic in the plural sense. So whatever we have studied, now we will study in detail like what is the textual representation table. Not only this, now we will study in the detailed form. Okay, whatever the topic is, we just have go through the overview, and to get to know about the detail of the topic, each and every topic, like in the collection of data, what are the other things in the internal things are there, organization, how it is organized, presentation, what are the form of presenting the data, how to analyze, what are the tools of analyzing of data, how to interpret the data. So we will study in the detail, and this is called the statistic in the plural sense. So in the plural sense, statistic is defined by mentioning the characteristic features of statistic. In this sense we define statistic. So this gives the characteristic features of the statistic. This explains the features. Okay, so how much it will be. Okay, so from as of now this is all about, and I will teach you in the next video about the statistic in the plural sense. And till then, go through the topic, write all the things which is important, and make your note. Be consistent in the economics, which is very crucial. And I will tune you up guys in the next video, so stay tuned and be connected to me and watch videos, and do like and share. Thank you. Have a nice day.